Hello, everybody. So I wanted to do a live today to share about Flow 60, the training system, on what it is and how is it different than traditional types of workouts. How do we train the body, mind, and emotions? And just gonna wait a couple minutes here for some of you guys to join in. Hello, Grace, Vicky, good to see you. Philip, good to see you. All right, Brownie, Maria, Oka, good to see you. Merle, Yokin. All right, hello. Never Banned Love, hi. Yes, good morning, the real. Okay, hello from Arizona. Awesome, good to see everybody. And guess where I'm at? I've been traveling a lot. Who likes to guess where I'm at this moment? Here, I'm gonna give you a little clue here. All right, that's the clue. Where do you think I'm at this moment? All right, Drew, what's up? Good. Hello from Germany. All right. Mahalo from California. Oregon, Joanna. Good to see you guys. All right, Vanessa, Colorado. All right, man, you guys are pretty good. Jason, Colorado. How'd you guys know? Do you guys recognize that tree there? That's a Colorado tree. So Colorado was right. Okay, I'm in Dolores, Colorado right now, and I'm at a retreat, a lodge. And I want to connect with you guys because there's been a lot of you guys just found out about my page here. Some of you guys might be new to my work, while some of you guys may have been following me for a decade now, back in the six-pack days and the bodybuilding days. So today I want to dive in and I want to answer some questions, and I want to share with you guys about what this training method is. A lot of people are wondering, how does it really work? Because there's so many people out there nowadays that want to train their body and their mind. They realize it's not just about the fitness part. I want to have a clear mind. I want to feel better in my body. Not feel good just from being strong, but feel good as in not have stress, not be angry, not be fearful. And this training method, it combines all of this together in a very unique way. And I want to start off. I want to start off by answering. Actually, I'm gonna give you a quick overview of what it is, and then if you guys have some questions, I want you to type it in. All right. So, all right. So just really quick here. Hello from UK, awesome. And quick here, how many of you guys are new to my work? How many of you guys have maybe in the last week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, let's say within the last month, have discovered about Flow 60, have discovered about this type of training method? And if this is you, I want you to type in me. Type in me if you are new to my work. If you don't know much about this training system, how it works, and just type in me. And I'm just going to look through. One me came through. Another perfumes. Jane S. All right. Always. Okay. Miss B. BP 830. Okay. All right. So the me's are coming in. Okay. All right. Good. Perfect. Sean. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. All right, so, and the me's are coming in more. All right, perfect. So this is why I'm doing this live today. Okay, I want to be able to share with you more in depth about how this training system works. So awesome. Me, Marcion. Okay, so to start off, I want to tell you a little bit about my background. Okay, just real quick, so we can give some reference. So for you guys that just discovered my work, I've been in fitness for decades now. I built a very, very successful channel on YouTube in the past called Six Pack Shortcuts. We had about 4 million subscribers, give or take, when I decided to leave back in 2015. From 2010 is when we started, and over those 5 years, we became the top fitness channel on entire YouTube. We were the most subscribed, and we influenced many, many people in the world with fitness. And during that time, I was very, very fit, and I helped a lot of people with mindset, nutrition, things like that. However, despite being very, very successful in that company and doing very well and having this outer life of everything I've ever wanted, literally everything I ever wanted, the inside was not, I wasn't happy. I was stressed. I was angry all the time. I was always afraid, fearful of like the company. What would happen if something happens here? What would happen if this doesn't go well? What would happen if something happens to me and I can't do these videos? All of this fear was happening. And it was also around the same time that I was starting to experience some injuries that didn't go away. I was starting to experience a lot of tremendous amount of mental fog. Okay, and if you guys have experienced mental fog, if you have, type in fog. How many of you guys experienced that mental fog that I'm talking about, to where you realize that you're trying to figure things out, you're trying to think, but literally it's like your mind's not working? Have you guys ever experienced that level of mental fog? I was experiencing this big time. Okay, and this was strange because I didn't realize when this happened. See, Larry Butler, okay, and you guys typing in fog, Miss B, okay, Monica. Yeah, so that mental fog, you guys know what I mean. And, when this happens, it's like that you know more information. You know that something is up, because this isn't like this has been your whole entire life. You know that your mind at some point was sharper. Things are coming through faster. You're more creative. But somehow, just at that moment, or somehow during that time period, your mind wasn't working, right? And you guys are all typing the fog, fog, fog. Good. You're really letting me know this is important, okay? This is important for you. It's relative. So I was experiencing this big time, to the point where I couldn't understand my managers. I ran 7 departments in this company, and I'm having meetings all the time, and I literally couldn't understand what my managers are telling me. It's like, want, 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 want. It's like I hear the sound, and I'm trying to connect the dots, and the dots are not connecting. And I remember feeling like, wow, what's happening to me? I built this company from the ground up with my partner, and yet here I am. I can't understand what the heck my manager is talking about. When we click here, this is doing this, and this is not working, and so we need to, and I'm sitting there trying to keep up, and I couldn't. So there was a lot of things like this happening, injuries that weren't healing, and I didn't think much of it because I had no idea about emotions, about energy. I'm a fitness guy. I help people get in shape, just like most fitness people do right now. And I had an experience, and I won't dive too much into it because I've done a lot of podcasts where I went really, really, really into detail on all of this, and I want to kind of get to talking more about what I discovered. So I just want to give you a quick back-end story. But I had an experience where I changed all of the energy inside of me. I had an experience where the injuries healed on the spot within a 6-hour period. I couldn't heal it in 9 months, and it healed right away. That mental fog that I was dealing with for about 7 to 8 months already went away in 6 hours. And the way I felt in my body changed completely. And from that moment on, that moment was February 8th, 2015. Okay. From that moment on, I realized that there was a new calling for me. There was something that I needed to figure out because I was experiencing this, but I didn't know how it was happening. So from then, I walked away from fitness. I walked away from my company. We were doing millions, per month, in business. And I walked away from it. I told my partners, sell my share. Let's figure this out. I need to go this direction. I need to figure this out. And I spent it's been now about almost 8 years now. Actually, it could be exactly about close to 8 years. A few days from now will be 8 years because this was February 8th. Okay, wow, time flies. And what I've discovered is one of the most mind-blowing things that when I listen to people who are interested in transforming their mindset, who's interested in overcoming mental, limited beliefs, when I talk to people that are wanting to heal from injuries, and I realize that all of these people, they haven't connected a certain connection that would allow all these things to happen really, really quickly. And this is why I'm coming back to go ahead and share this. And not just to tell somebody how it works, but also to teach people now what they need to do. And I made it so easy that anybody can do it. Because before, my company was called Six Pack Shortcuts. We're lifting heavy weights and building muscle, so it wasn't for everybody. But this training method is, okay? This training method is, and the cool thing about it is you can still build muscle, you can still get muscular and all that if you wanted to, but it's designed specifically for people that are wanting to clear the mental fog, for people that want to get rid of chronic pain and injuries, for people that want to overcome procrastination and fear and self-doubt and lack of confidence, for people that want to overcome diseases. Now, sometimes when I even hear myself saying this, it looks like it's like all over the place. It's like so separate from each other. But the component that's the same among all of these things is that there's our body, there's our mind, there's us. And there's something within us that is influencing all of these things. It's influencing the way we feel. It's influencing how we act. It's influencing all these things. And that part of us is energy. Now, if you told me about energy years ago, 8 years ago, I'll be like, energy, yeah, I have a lot of energy. No. It's beyond just the energy that you have to go and move. What I'm talking about is a deeper layer of energy that is connected to how we view ourselves. It's connected to how we see the world. This energy is connected to our mental perspective, our perspective of our reality. That is also energy. You see what I mean? It's not just energy like, physical doing stuff. Specifically, the energy that really connects to all of this is emotions. We all have emotions. And growing up, none of us were taught on how to deal with the emotions or what they really are, besides the fact that you have them and, try to feel better, right? Go do some things to try to feel better. But nobody has taught us how to process emotions. What that means specifically is you have emotions, what do? It's like I dirty my shirt, what do? Right? Right now with emotions, people are like, oh, you dirty your shirt, just go get a new one. Right? Nobody knows how to clean it. It's kind of like that. Right now with emotions, people don't really understand what to do with them. We try to go and gravitate towards just feeling better, but it's not about feeling better. Okay? It's not about feeling better. This is one of the biggest mistakes that people make. People are trying to feel better. That might be the end goal, but the process is not feeling better. Okay? It's the entire opposite, guys. Okay? And I'm about to go ahead and connect the dots to how this emotions is going to connect to Flow 60, okay, which is the training system that took me now 8 years in coming to create. When we are having some emotions, stress, anger, worries, fear, whatever it is, what we need to do is actually to fully feel those emotions. Not to try to feel better, okay? I'm going to be really emphasizing this point here because I want you guys to really understand this philosophy. So when I'm posting things, you can connect the dots, okay? It's not to feel better. It's to fully feel what you are experiencing. So if you're experiencing stress, fully feel the stress. If you are experiencing sadness because something happened, fully feel the sadness. If you are angry, fully feel the anger. What happens when you do that is that the emotion that is happening in your body, you bring your attention, your consciousness, you bring it into your body and you fully become aware of it. You're being present with it. You're acknowledging it. You're accepting it, right? Accepting is not just, I'm okay with that the fact that I'm mad. No. Accepting is bringing your attention and actually being present with what's happening. Now, when we are present with this emotion that's inside of us, that's doing whatever it's doing, now this emotion doesn't get trapped in the body. It doesn't get stuffed down. Now, once we are aware of it, now this emotion has its ability to come out, to get released. But this process of releasing it means we're going to feel more of this emotion. Okay? You see, when I said earlier, it's not about feeling good. Because if you're trying to feel good, why would you try to feel more of the sadness that you feel? Right? If you are afraid and you're trying to feel good, why would you try to dive into that fear? You see how it's entirely the opposite of what most of us are thinking that we should do. It's what opposite of what most of us are doing. You're not trying to feel good. You're trying to just feel what you are experiencing. And now, by feeling what you are experiencing, the act of being conscious with it, being present with it, acknowledging it, accepting it, fully feeling the sensation, okay? The act of doing that releases the emotion. All right. So, now, when you are trying to feel into your body, now I'm going to tie this into what Flow 60 is about. Now, if I ask you guys, okay guys, just go ahead and feel your emotions, right? You're feeling stress, you're feeling this, okay, just go ahead and feel it, and it's going to be released. Great, right? So now you're going to try to feel it, and here's what you're going to run into. You're going to feel it, and then for a split moment, for a few seconds, 5 seconds, whatever it is, and then suddenly you're going to think about something. And then when your mind is thinking about something, your attention is not in your body anymore. Your attention is down in your mind, thinking about whatever you're thinking about. Okay? So then you bring your attention in and you try to feel it again. And then 5 seconds later, 10 seconds later, you're back in your head again, thinking about something. Maybe you're thinking about the way you're feeling, but it's still thinking. You see? So the challenge here is that we human beings have not developed the ability to take our attention and to bring it into our body and to keep it there and to fully feel. We can only do it for a short period of time. 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds for some if you're really, really good. And there are some people that can do it for a few minutes. But here's the thing. If you've been accumulating emotions for, how old are you? 20, 30, 40, 50, 60? If you've been accumulating emotions in your body for decades, do you think that a few minutes of connecting with the emotion is going to release it? Right? Just think about it. Literally, this emotion's been trapped in there since childhood. Right? All the trauma that's happened. Every time you got really upset at somebody, every time somebody has hurt you, every time you felt guilty, and you never fully released it. And now you're going to bring your attention in there for a few minutes, right? How much is it going to be? How effective would that be, right? The answer is not enough. It's going to help as much as the couple minutes that we put in. But if we really want to get rid of this stuff, because we're tired of constantly being stressed, worry, fear, we're constantly being angry, we're constantly being triggered all this time. If we're really tired of it, we got to be able to hold our attention in our body for a long period of time. Okay. Now, before I go any further, how many of you guys get what I'm saying? If you get it, I want you to type in get. Type in get right now. Okay. I just want to see before I move on. I want to make sure everybody's we're on the same page. Okay. Just type in get if you really get it. And I see you guys are posting a lot of comments here. Good. If you guys, okay, Jamito, I got one get. Okay. Dion, get. Okay. Sanad, Stoic philosophy. Okay, stylish, get. Okay. All right. Kurman, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. All right. Charleston, okay. All right, got it. Get it, got it. Okay. All right. If there's still some questions, all good, man. Write it down. just so you don't forget. And then I'm going to move on to this, to the next section here, okay? All right. So, good. Fallon, good. All right. Thank you guys. So, what we need to do here is we need to be able to connect with the body and feel the body for longer periods of time and deeper. Those two things, okay? Longer periods of time and deeper. Longer periods of time, so this way we give our body the chance to release the emotions. It doesn't happen just in a split moment. It takes a long time because we've been holding on to it for a long time. Deeper because these emotions are not just on the surface. It's on the surface, it's on the mid, and it's on the deep, okay? There's layers and it's really deep, just like peeling back the onion analogy, right? It's very, very accurate. So we need to be able to accomplish those two things. And both of these things have to do with our ability to be able to maintain our attention into the body, connect to the body, right? Be aware of the body. And that's on the level of the mind. Now, when it comes to the level of the body, we have to increase our ability to feel. That means our nervous system has to be activated much, much more. It has to be more sensitive. We have to be able to feel more. Okay. So now from there, how do we do that? When we are exercising, when we're building all this muscle, what we create is a lot of tension, tense muscles, right? Even if you're not exercising, how many of you guys, okay, raise your hand, how many of you guys walk around keeping your stomach tight? Okay. How many of you guys? Raise your hand if you walk around keeping your stomach tight all the time, trying to look like you got flat stomach or you got abs or just to look slimmer. How many of you guys got that, right? How many of you guys can relate to that? When we tense up our body, we stop the ability to feel. Okay. Vanessa saying, yeah. Okay. We stop the ability to feel when we tense up the body, especially when we tense up our stomach. Okay? Because emotions is energy. It's energy in motion. And if we want to release those emotions, we need to be able to feel those emotions. But if we tense up our body, then we can't feel. Okay, we can't feel as effectively. Now, if we tense up our stomach, think about the amount of energy that's circulating in your gut area. This is your core. This is for you guys that study Qigong, this is your Dantian, right? For people that study yoga, this is your sacral, right? And for people that look at it as I'm connected to my intuition, my gut feeling, this is your gut. And if you want to access your gut feeling, well, that means you got to feel your gut, right? Makes sense, right? Well, if your gut is tight because you're trying to look good all the time, how are you going to feel your gut? You know? And that's what happens. So we don't feel the gut. We don't feel as often, right? We are blocking the energies here. But that's just here in the gut. That's just here in the stomach. How many of you guys bite your jaw, right? Grind the teeth, right? How many of you guys clench your fingers? How many of you guys clench your toes? Right? How many of you guys do that? How many of you guys tense up your traps and your shoulders? Right? There's so many areas in our body. We're not even consciously doing it, but we tense up. And when we tense up, we are blocking our ability to feel. And then if we block our ability to feel, then we are stopping our ability to release emotions. So whenever we feel an emotion, we're experiencing an emotion, I'm angry, upset, stressed, it doesn't go anywhere. It just stays in and just boils up like a pressure cooker that's just building up in pressure. But all you need to do is relax, let go of the tension. And now that energy that was building up like a pressure cooker has an opportunity to get released. Like a pressure cooker, you open it up, right? In the beginning, how much is just blowing out? And at some point, it's just constantly blowing. If there's a lot of heat going, it's just at a steady blow. but it doesn't build up anymore. It has a chance to get released. Our body is the same way. And now, when our body is releasing these emotions, because we are relaxed, because we're able to feel the body more, guess what happens to our mind? All right, take a wild guess. You guys already know the answer to this. Your mind now releases the same way. If I'm feeling angry, isn't my thoughts going to think about anger? Isn't my thoughts going to complain, blame, right? You guys can relate to this. So if I release this anger because I'm fully feeling it, allowing it to go from my body, then what's going to happen in my mind is the same thing. This perspective of I'm upset at this person, I will now be able to let it go. This perspective of this person done me wrong, I will now have the ability to forgive, to brush off. Okay. But if I'm boiling up in here like a pressure cooker with anger, you think that I'm going to be able to just brush something off, right? If we look back to our own life, to the times that we are really upset, we'll find, do we actually do that? When we're feeling so angry and suddenly we're like, yeah, I'm going to forgive this person. Or I'm going to get this person, I'm going to give them what they deserve. We're just thinking about all of these thoughts that are equivalent to the emotion that we have, the emotion that we're experiencing. Okay. All right. So Bruce wrote there, I don't get how to achieve it. All right. So here's what we do. Okay. So far we've covered about these emotions that are in us that are affecting our mind, affecting our life, affecting our habits, affecting our behavior, all this stuff, right? For you guys that just jumped in. We don't release it because our body's constantly tense. We don't release it because we don't actually fully feel it. We're just trying to feel better, not feel what we're actually feeling. So when we actually feel it, we can release it. And the way we feel it is we maintain our attention into our body. We go deeper in the ability to feel. And the combination of that helps us release. And to release, to feel, we have to let go. We have to become relaxed. We have to let go of the tension, let go of the tightness. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about letting go of tightness. Okay. When we think about letting go of tightness, a lot of times we think about massage. We may think about yoga, stretching. We may think about acupuncture, Well, maybe not so much acupuncture. That's more of like opening up energies, right? So we think about things like that, right? We think about a spa, a hot bath, right? Something really relaxing, right? Okay, good. So letting go of tightness is the first step. Because when we let go of tightness, now we can feel more. But remember in the beginning, I talked about how our mind, our attention needs to connect to the body. We need to bring our attention and maintain it in the body. That's the level of the mind. On the body, we need to relax, right? Mind, attention to the body, maintain it there. Body, relax, right? So, and by the way, before I go on, if any of this stuff is, if you resonate with these things, if this makes sense, I'm running a live workshop in Austin in a few days from now, February 11th. Okay, February 11th is going to be like a 5-hour workshop. For any of you guys that are in Austin, how many people is in Austin? If you're in Austin, type in Austin. Okay, if you're in Austin, come see me. Come see me. We'll do this live. I'll show you the practice, and we'll dive into all of this. Okay, if you are around and you have the opportunity to fly in, awesome. Okay. I've been traveling the U.S. now not U.S., just everywhere in the world now since like December 6th, and we haven't went home yet. So the trip just kind of keeps extending a little longer and a little longer. So we wanted to do a workshop in Austin just to connect with some folks, and we just made plans to do a live virtual event. I haven't even announced this anywhere. We literally just decided this morning. I don't even have all the details on it. besides the fact that it's going to be a virtual event. It's going to be February 18th and 19th. Okay. I don't know any of the other details. We're going to find out really soon. So if you guys can't make it to Austin and you want to dive in deeper with all of this, the virtual event will be where it's at for everybody else that can't travel. Okay. It's going to be like 2 days. We're going to dive into all of these things and much more. We're going to be doing practices. We're going to be doing a lot of interactive stuff. One last thing. And for some of you guys that are really ready to go all in, you're past learning all of this, because you got to learn it and you got to understand it, which is why I'm coming on and sharing this with you. Once you learn all of this, if this makes total sense, you go, I'm ready just to move forward. I don't need to learn anymore. I need help with doing it. I run 60-day programs. Okay, 60-day programs is really, really immersive between myself and my trainers. We have groups every 60 days or so. The next one's March 11th. Okay, the last one just started was January 25th. 60 days, immerse. We do trainings, we do coachings, we do lessons, a lot of lives, a lot of accountability and support. Okay, so that's flow60.com. Okay, only for you guys that are ready. If you guys are still trying to figure out what the system's about, how does it work, don't do it yet. Don't go there yet. Okay, because that's only for people that are ready to go. Because I only have ability to handle a certain amount of students. So you guys that are ready, you get how this works. You go, I want this. Jump on board. You'll talk to one of my enrollment advisors, maybe myself. Sometimes I take some of the calls, and we'll get you going, man. All right. Okay. All right, guys. So now we are talking about letting go. Okay, letting go in the body. How to be able to relax. So now let's go into the training system. So remember we talked about there's all these different methods, right? There's yoga and there's breath work, there's meditation, there's all these ways to relax. When I started to do all these different practices, I realized that every one of the practices had different benefits, but they all were missing something. If we sit there and we meditate, right? We sit there and we meditate, and we're trying to silence our mind, and we're trying to relax our body, right? It's like, okay, great. Now I can feel a little more relaxed, right? But it may take me a little while to relax, right? How many of you guys sat there and just closed your eyes and just kept thinking, and you find it's hard to sit still. And then after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you're like, I've just been sitting there with my eyes closed. I'm not even meditating, right? And some people need to only listen to music and guidance. So you're basically just listening to music with your eyes closed and listening to somebody talk. But real meditation is where your mind is silent, right? So meditation helps, but there's some things that's missing. Number one, our body needs to feel strong, right? It's not just about relaxing. You also want to feel strong, right? So meditation really doesn't help with strength. It just helps with relaxing. But it's even tough to relax just by doing meditation alone. It usually takes about 20 minutes for the average person to go and get into a meditative state. And a meditative state is where your mind is silent. Average 20 minutes, okay? So if we look at the amount of time that people are meditating, people usually aren't even meditating for 20 minutes. Most people are not even meditating, but the ones that are, most don't even get to 20 minutes. And the ones that do, they just started to get into a meditative state. So it's like you're gonna go work out, but you just do the warm up and then you stop, right? It's not effective. You gotta go longer. So if somebody was to meditate for 40 minutes, meditate for an hour a day, then it would be effective. But what about your strength? What about your cardio? What about your mobility? What about your flexibility, right? What about your endurance? So meditation is great, but there's other things that we also want, right? So then let's say a person does yoga. So yoga is great. You get to stretch. You get to do these flows. You get to breathe. Good. But what happened if you want to do cardio? What happened if you want to build more muscle? You want to target your biceps. You want to go ahead and have nice glutes, right? The yoga body thing. So then now yoga starts to branch into power yoga, strength yoga. So now the yoga and fitness starts to merge together. The traditional yoga that was around for thousands and thousands of years is starting to kind of wash away, and then now there's this merge of this new type of yoga that's kind of more like working out. Okay, so if we look at fitness, a lot of people are working out. So we're burning fat, we're building muscle, but we lack flexibility. We lack relaxation. You work out, your adrenaline's all pumped up, and then that's it, then you're done, right? You need to be able to relax all that adrenaline. You need to let go all of the tension that you just created, right? You're exercising, and now your muscles get really tense. You need to let it go. If not, you're staying tense, right? And we just talked about why it's so important to let go of the tension and to get the body to relax. So fitness is great for strength and cardio and endurance, but it lacks mobility, it lacks flexibility, it lacks relaxation. And the biggest thing is that all of these things don't help a person connect to their body, feel deeper in their body. You only feel on the surface. Just like when you're doing a muscle contraction, you're just feeling on the surface. When you're doing a downward dog, you're only feeling on the surface. But how about feeling deeper? You see? So when I started to study these things, I realized they are all effective and they've been around for thousands of years. Breathwork is another one. Right? Mr. Wim Hof put breathwork on the map along with ice. Right? So most of you guys have definitely heard of breathwork and Wim. And so breath is great, but as you see, it still lacks certain things. Right? It lacks strength, it lacks flexibility, mobility. So they all have their advantages. So I thought, well, these are all great modalities, but I want to have the benefits of all of them, but if I was to do all of them, it would take about 4 hours. And when I sold my company back in the day, back in 2015, that's what I did. I trained for about 4 hours a day, and I was doing breath work, I was doing meditation, I was doing yoga, I was doing strength training, and I was doing also one other thing, which is tap massage. Okay. And I'll tell you more about that in just a sec. And I was doing these things, and it took me about 4 hours a day. And it was very, very effective. But if you guys jumped on earlier when I was talking about when I was in fitness before, and I left it because I wanted to find out how to do a practice that releases these emotions and transforms our body and mind, and I wanted it to work for everybody, 4 hours a day does not work for everybody. Even somebody like me who has been training for a long, long time, it still wouldn't work. I knew that I can't maintain 4 hours a day. That's crazy. I've got a life. But I did during this short period of about 6 to 8 months because I was determined to go and feel better in my body. I was determined to release the stress and anger and fear. And it worked. But it was 4 hours a day. So I looked at the practices and I go, okay, what can I do to go ahead and make this actually practical? And so what I did is I took this 4-hour practice with all these different moves and I started to strip away certain moves that were either very difficult to do or it didn't have the amount of results versus the effort. Like we could have been practicing standing on our head, right? But standing on your head takes a good amount of effort. And what is the result of it? Is there another way to go ahead and increase that circulation besides getting on our head, right? So I looked at it with that mentality and I started stripping away more and more. And certain moves, I started to combine them together. This method called stacking. I started stacking moves together. And one other thing is I looked and I go, a lot of this practice isn't just physical. There's a mental aspect of this. Because the mind and the body are one. They're a reflection of each other. And if something's happening in the body, something's happening in the mind, and vice versa. If we are stressed out in our mind, having a lot of pressure and all this stuff, we will see the effects in our body. 100%. Okay. Just a side note. For any of you guys watching this right now, if you are feeling some type of problem in your body, pain in your body, injuries in your body that somehow miraculously doesn't heal, it's chronic, it's been around forever, look into your mind. And you are also having thoughts in your mind for the same duration of time. Okay, they're a reflection of each other. Okay, that's why you couldn't change it in your body, because you haven't let it go in your mind. and vice versa. Okay, just a side note. So I started to stack these exercises together, and I started condensing it more and more. The 4 hour became 3 hour. The 3 hour became 2 hour. The 2 hour became 90 minutes. And then I did this 90 minutes for about a year and a half, 2 years. And then I go, okay, what can I do to see if I can strip it a little bit more? And then I went it all the way down to 60 minutes. 60 moves in 60 minutes. And for you guys that saw the title of this talk, Flow 60, right? It's fitness redefined, it's body, mind, emotions. That's what it actually is. It's tap massage, strength training, stretching, breathing, meditation, all combined together in a systematic way. Okay, it took me a long time to try to find out which one goes first, which move goes first, how does this move affect this move, how did this move affect this move, right? All the way through. Okay, it's a systematic way to release energy in the body. For you guys that have been watching, when you release energy in the body, you transform your mind, you transform your health, you transform every aspect of yourself. And because we are using tap massage, right, tapping the body, we increase the stress resiliency of the body. Okay, so the stress resiliency, right? You get punched, you get hit. This stress, right? The pain, your body builds a tremendous resiliency to it. Okay. So this doesn't mean I go out there and get into fights or all this stuff. It just means that we become stronger because we live in a physical world and we have to interact with a physical world. So our bodies need to be able to handle a certain level of physical stress, right? You guys agree, right? So tap massage increases that along with opening up the circulation of arteries, veins, capillaries throughout the entire body, not just like one area, every single thing, especially our senses. How many of you guys have sore eyes, pressure in your head, right? How many of you guys feel blocked here between the eyes here and the nose area, right? All of these things, we open this up all the time. All these moves, we do it every single day. So everything in the face, which is so important that nobody does anything on, all the energy opens up. All of the tension, you have a lot of muscles in your face, right? All the muscle tension can be released, okay? And it literally takes you seconds to do. Seconds to do. You charge up the hands, and then now you're up and down your nose, and now you're releasing the tension. You go around the eyes, and now you're releasing the tension around the eyes. You go around the ears, and now you release tension around the ears. It's so simple, right? Hands over the nose, circular motion, right? Back and forth. And now you start to open up more of the nose. Left, right, alternate nostril, which is using your thumb and your index. You plug up one nostril, inhale through the mouth, exhale double through the nose, switch, switch, and then you can do it at whatever speed you like. This is my speed. Okay. So there's more. These moves are so simple. Anybody can do it. You just practice it. You do it anytime, anywhere. And now you're moving energy in the face. You're relaxing the tension, the muscles in the face, right? The pressure in the face, gone. Pressure in the eyes, gone. Okay. It's so easy. 60 moves. Okay, so that's tap massage. All of this is all part of tap massage. Part 1. Part 2, strength training. So a lot of guys, they come to me and they go, Mike, how do I want to build more muscle? How do I build more muscle? But I keep getting injured with the way I'm training and can I build muscle with Flow 60? Yes, absolutely. Because strength training, we can use calisthenics, right? You can use our body weight, or you can go to a gym and you can lift weights. You can do the same thing, okay? The difference between this strength training and regular person going in the gym has to do with the way that we are strength training. There's 7 training principles that's applied to this training method, to Flow 60. There's 7 training principles. So usually it's like you go to gym, it's just like, okay, you talk to a trainer or you're just focusing on, let's say you're doing a bicep curl, and you're just focusing on, muscle contraction, keeping your elbows there, adjusting the wrist, twisting it here so you activate more bicep. You're just focusing on form. But there's a lot more going on within a human body besides just sitting there looking at the form. What's happening to our mind? Where's our mind at during this time? How are we feeling in the body as we're doing this? Do we need to go ahead and tense up everything in order to do this curl? Or can we relax and tense only what is needed to do this curl, right? Because if you want to retrain your body to be able to let go, to relax, let go of the tension so you can fully feel those emotions and release them, then you need to be practicing all the time. So if I'm going to curl, I wouldn't be tensing up everything. I'm only going to tense up what's needed, right? So if this is a 10-pound dumbbell, it's not going to take me much tensing up to do. Now, if this was a 50-pound dumbbell, I might have to tense up everything to go ahead and get this weight up, right? If I'm going to go here and squat with my body, right, how tense do I need to be? Now, if I go and put it on 200 pounds and I'm going to squat now, don't I need to tense up more muscles, right? It's obvious. But here's the issue here. People are tensing up when there is no need to tense up. Okay. If you guys have been watching the whole time here and connecting dots here, what I talked about earlier with the gut, right? Tensing up the gut to try to make your stomach look flat. People are tensing up their body when there's no need to tense up. Whether it is working out, whether it is walking around, doing whatever, sitting at a desk on the computer, sitting there on your phone, having a conversation, people are tensing up their body when there's no need. And when we tense up our body, we stop the ability to feel. We feel less. So now emotions that come up, they stay in our body. We can't release it because we can't feel it. You guys get me now? We got to feel those emotions if we want to release it. But we can't feel it because we're always tense. You see? So this training method, Flow 60, you're going to learn how to work out and build muscle and burn fat and get endurance and flexibility. All of this stuff that any fitness, workout, training system will teach you. The effects, all the results of it. But you're going to do it differently. You're not going to be tensing up everything. You're going to tense up only what's needed. Okay? And another one. Okay, there's 7 training principles. I'll just give you another one, for example. Here's one. No judgment, competing, or comparing. All right. How often are people in the gym working out, judging themselves? Oh, I look fat. Oh my God, man, people are looking at me. Or they compare themselves with other people. Or they're trying to compete with their friend. Compete with that person. Compete with themselves. I lifted this weight. I was doing this before. You know what happens when we compete? Here's what happens. We disregard, we ignore what's happening right now. Okay? When we compete, we are ignoring what's happening right now. Because competing to something else means we're just trying to be better than this. But if we actually pay attention to what's happening right now, then and use this as the gauge. Use the way my body feel right now as the gauge of how much I should push, how many reps I should do, how many sets I should do, on whether or not I should do this exercise or this exercise. If I use the way I feel right now, what's happening in my body right now as the gauge, then I can work out safer. I can actually do the right exercises for me. I can push myself with the right amount of intensity. But if I was to compete against somebody else or compete against myself 2 years ago, 2 months ago, 10 years ago, whatever, I'm ignoring the fact that my body might be telling me something else. You guys see that? So that's one of the principles, okay? So now imagine that you are building muscle, getting fit and all this stuff. You are strength training, but you're applying these principles. You will still get fit. You will still build muscle. You'll still get all of that. But you are now developing deeper lessons. And these lessons that are originally applied to this practice, this workout, will later on get applied to every aspect of your life. Every aspect. Whether it's competing against careers and work and making money and all this stuff. Competing against a relationship. Oh, they do this, they do this. Okay. Competing against personal stuff. Oh, this person has a bigger house. I'm going to get a bigger house because I want to go ahead and compete with that. They have a nicer car. They wear fancier clothes. You see, instead of paying attention to what we really want, paying attention to what we can really afford, right? You guys see what I mean? These principles will pour into every aspect of our life. But we first practice it in this workout. Okay. So I'm gonna wrap this up and take a couple questions. And so we just covered strength training. Now stretching. We use stretching to go ahead and increase the mobility, release the tension, okay, to bend the spine in all the different ways. So this way we can open up the energy and we can release tension at the major areas, which is up and down the spine. That's where the central nervous system runs, right? Up and down the spine. So when we stretch, we increase our capacity to feel, but we also help the body relax. And when we do it after strength training, we generated all this tension and now we get to let it go, right? So then after stretching, we go into breath work. And when we do breath work, we now can move energy that tap massage, strength training, and stretching couldn't get to. Okay, we move a lot of energy in the body. We go deeper in the body because oxygen is energy. Okay, if you don't breathe oxygen, that means you're not consuming energy. You're not going to be around for very long. So breathing in all of that oxygen into the body, the more that we flood in, any energy that is stagnant, any energy that is blocked will start to open up. It's like, imagine like you have a cup and there's dark water in it, and then you start to pour clean water into the cup. Over time, this water will be completely clean. It'll be completely white. So when we're doing breath work and we're breathing in and breathing in, we're helping to clear the energy in the body. Okay, that's why Wim Hof method and breathing was so popular, because all you do is just breathe. It's simple. But like I mentioned earlier, there's some missing aspects of that training method, just like with all the others. And when I realized that, I didn't want to have just one thing without the other. So number 4 is breathing. We breathe to move the energy, and then we can drive the energy upwards towards the third eye, towards the crown. Okay, or for you guys that don't study yoga, we can just say drive the energy upwards towards the head, so this way we can open up the brain. How often do people run into strokes, right? My father died because of a stroke, okay? And I know a lot of you guys can relate because strokes are very, very popular. So is all the stuff that has to do with the brain, right? As somebody gets older, a lot of problems happen here. When we drive the energy up, we open it all up, okay? Any type of blockages, they open up. So then the last thing, now that the energy is all flowing, we're feeling a lot more relaxed, we tie in the last aspect, which is meditation. And meditation brings it all together. We connect to this energy that's been circulating around. We connect to this energy that's now free. Because if we don't connect to it, then we can't get to that place of centeredness. We can't go ahead and increase our ability to feel. Because when I say connect to energy, what I'm really saying is feeling your body, feeling the sensation inside your body. When you meditate, all you have to do is just maintain your attention to the feeling in your body. And by doing so, automatically your mind goes still. Okay. And all of this is done in 60 minutes. That's Flow 60. The combination of these 5 methods, okay, 60 minutes, 60 moves. So everybody that has tried this has had miraculous, crazy results. And it doesn't take like a week or a month. Literally after the first time. That's how effective it is. Literally after the first time you do it, it's like, whoa. And everybody feels the same all the time. Okay. Because you do it, and at the end, you're like, it's always the same. You feel relaxed, you feel calm, your mind is clear, okay? And then you go, wow. And then throughout the day, you're able to brush things off easier. And then as you do this more and more, the feeling stays longer in your body. At first, it's like, yeah, you feel good for maybe about an hour or 2 hours, then you're back to normal. And then you do practice again and again and again, and that feeling starts to increase more and more and more. Okay. So that's the training method. There is another component of this that has to do with once your energy opens and your mind is now expanding, now there's changing beliefs, there's identifying scarcity mindsets, there's imprinting into the mind, all of that other stuff. Okay. But all of the other stuff is secondary. This primary thing, if somebody was to go ahead and apply the 7 principles and do this practice every day, you will become healthier, stronger, your energy will go through the roof, you'll become more peaceful, all the problems that are happening in your life right now will slowly start to just fall away. Not because you're doing things, cutting people out, but because once you feel good, you stop fighting with everyone. And then when you stop fighting with somebody that's trying to fight with you, that you're fighting with, you stop fighting, they don't have anybody to fight with. And they go away because they're here trying to go blah, blah, blah. And you go, bro, no, I'm good, man. All that drama stuff starts to fall away. We don't even have to try. People will just leave. That's how it happens. People just kind of leave, right? You have problems with your job, suddenly you get fired. Now somebody goes, whoa, I got fired. Right, because you wanted to leave anyways, you see. But sometimes we're afraid to leave. Oh, what happened if, I don't get another job? So we hold on to something, right? So when we start to change energy like this, we start to let go of the fear. Everything that is aligned with fear, that's aligned with stress, aligned with problems, all those things start to fall away, right? If you're in a job that you hate with a boss that you don't like, someday you may get fired. It will happen in that way. But don't worry. If it happens in that way, just know that now you are open to receive that better job. You're open to maybe go and start your own business that you've been wanting to do, right? In a relationship, right? You may be having all these fights and suddenly you start to feel at peace and suddenly your partner starts to change. You didn't even sit there and try to tell them to do something different. Literally, they just start to change because they sense they are affected by your energy. You gotta think about it, right? When you're at peace, when you feel more calm, every single thing you do is different. The way you talk is different. The choices that you make is different. Your facial expression is different. Everything is different. And it will influence every aspect of your life, including the foundational stuff like your health, So, all right, guys. So that's the breakdown here of Flow 60, okay, what it's about. And I'm going to just go through a few of the questions here. And I'm going to just kind of rapid fire here. Let me take a look. All right, so a lot of good questions here. And let me see. Let me just kind of go in. Phil Zer asked, will this be, is this live recorded? I would love to watch it again. Yeah, I'll post this up. Okay, I'll post this up. All right. When is your viral session, virtual session planned? February 18th and 19th. Okay. Mark your calendars on that. It's going to be maybe 4 or 5 hours a day. Okay. Virtual. I don't have all the details on it. We literally just decided like this morning. Okay. February 18th and 19th. I'm going to be back here in Dolores. I'm going to do it here off the, I'm at a retreat center right now. So I'm going to do it here, but that's all I know. Okay. Shelly asks, how do I join the program? Go to flow60.com and book an interview with one of my enrollment advisors. Maybe I'll even jump on, but Shelly, got to make sure that you are ready to take action. Okay. If you want more information, my social media videos are great for that. If you're ready to take action and move forward, then go to flow60.com. All right. Okay. Sandra asked, what do you think about migraines? I have lots of neck and trap and shoulder stiffness. Okay. Well, that's the reason why for the migraine. Okay, there could be other things. Remember I talked about earlier, okay, about how our body and our mind are connected. So you have a lot of tightness in your shoulders and your neck, your upper back. That means you're carrying a lot of things in your life right now, okay? That means you have a lot of responsibilities, and you feel like you're literally carrying the world on top of you. So you have to find a way to, it's not that you need to let it go, because I'm sure you're responsible for a lot of stuff, but you need to let go of your attachment to the expectations of those, okay? You gotta let that go. Not your responsibilities. You still need to do what you need to do, but you gotta let go of your attachment to it. In other words, sometimes you're gonna do a good job, sometimes you're gonna do a crappy job. And when you do a crappy job, you're still doing your best, but you know, you're not gonna do good all the time. Be okay with it. When you're okay with it, all that pressure that you're carrying will start to release. You'll still do what you need to do, but you don't create that pressure. That pressure is in here. It's mentally created. And it's showing up in your body. And it's showing up in your migraines. Okay? All right. Let's see. Same with energy. Okay. All right. Sanad wrote, meditation don't work long term. I've studied this to a T for 20 years. Okay, so depends on your issues. You know, meditation is the foundation for a lot of this work, but nowadays, if this was thousands of years ago, meditation would probably be a little more straightforward. Nowadays, so many things are called meditation. Real meditation is not like a lot of the mainstream stuff. Real meditation silences your mind. And if you meditate long enough, eventually all things will go away, okay? But most people don't have the time, the patience, or the will to do that. I'm talking about, 10-day Vipassanas, for some of you guys are familiar with that. That's where you go to a retreat, go to a place, literally for 10 days, and you do nothing but meditate all day long for like 10 hours a day, every day. No books, no reading, no writing, no nothing. You just sit there, okay? Now, all the stuff that's inside of you are going to just come out. And for some people, they have to take your keys away. That's how crazy. They have to take your keys away because most people, by day 3, they try to drive off. They try to leave. Okay. My point is, meditation is very, very effective, but we need to make it practical for our modern day society. Okay. And this is why this practice makes it so that you can actually meditate. Because by the time you get into meditation, you're relaxed. You're calm, okay? So you can enter right into meditation, okay, versus kind of like the normal way of doing it. All right. Okay, going through. Shoulder and knee and shoulder pain, Sergio. Okay. Yeah, so pains, a lot of times pains is the combination, again, between the mind and the body, okay? You need to do things with your body, but a lot of times people are doing it, but they're not letting go of the things in their mind, okay? So any of you guys, there's a lot of people talking about pains and things like that. Whenever you feel pains in your body, look and see what type of pains do you have in your mind? What type of stress are you dealing with? What type of pressure are you dealing with? What type of fear are you dealing with? Do you feel stuck in certain places in your life? Okay, it's going to manifest in your body. The pains, the injuries, the chronic stuff, the stiffness, all of that. So the approach to it is not just one or the other, it's both. Okay, and that's why when we do Flow 60, it's 7 training principles, mind, 60 moves in 60 minutes, body. The combination of doing this simultaneously, it's not like we do it separately. Simultaneously, we're doing it. The combination of this will transform the mind and the body. Okay, we can't do it separate. Okay. And Kovac asks, where and how did you get into tap massage? I figured it out after studying a lot of different training methods. A lot of different training methods from all different sorts of massages. Right, you got the regular type of massages, from Thai massages, deep tissue massages, and Then we get into like sports massages. Then we get into like NMRT, like neuromuscular release tension massages, and all these things, acupressure massages. Then I started studying a method called Pai Da Lajing in Mandarin, which stands for slapping and stretching. You know, the guys like healing cancer with it. It's incredible. And I started to understand the fundamentals, and I realized that tapping the body, which is simple, anybody can do it, is so effective, but nobody just knows the benefit. And it's like, why would I just hit myself? Right? But you're not hitting yourself, right? You're just tapping. You're not trying to injure yourself. So it took me years. I've been on this path now for going on 8 years. February 8th of this year would be 8 years since I took a step back from fitness and dived into all the other aspects of training the mind, body, and emotions. So now I kind of just merged it all together. Yeah. All right. I'm going to scroll all the way down here. There's a lot of questions here. And Brandon asked, Mike, what would you tell someone who's experiencing discomfort / uneasy feeling in the solar plex area of the stomach? All right, so guys, the solar plex area of the stomach, right? So that is here in the top area. Well, let's start off with the simple stuff before we get into the complicated stuff. Simple stuff here is make sure that you're eating clean, okay? Make sure that you're eating clean. A lot of times we feel uncomfortable here because we're not eating healthy. Now, we're not eating healthy because we're dealing with emotional stuff. That's why we're eating something we're not supposed to. But a straightforward approach is, number one, clean up your diet, right? So first, stop eating so you can let everything empty out, right? Go on a fast for 24 hours. Drink just water and nothing else and release all of it. Give your body a chance to release it. And if you just do some regular movement, I'm not talking hardcore exercise, it's just regular movement, but don't eat, okay? And let it all clear out. Your body will naturally start to process all of it. And then you'll find that the pain will start to slowly settle down, okay? And then over time it'll go away. And if you want to speed it up, do the Flow 60 practice, because you're going to move a lot of things out of your body, okay? If you do the practice and don't eat, wait till it clears completely, and then now your stomach feels better. And then from there, look at what you're eating. Anytime when you eat something, observe how you feel in your body. If right now my stomach, my solar plex feels good, and then I eat this thing, and then 20 minutes later, my stomach feels a little bloated, it feels a little off, then I'm gonna know that this food is not good for my body. It doesn't matter what somebody says about this food. It doesn't matter, how great this food is. I eat it and it doesn't feel good, and I can feel it. Okay, see, I'm present to what's happening. I'm observing what's actually happening. I'm not in my head saying a story about this is good because of XYZ reason. I'm being present and listening to my body. And my body says it's not good because I can feel it. Right? So maybe I'm gonna stop eating this. Let me eat that. Right? Sometimes combining foods together is another thing. Right? We combine them together and they don't mix well together, so you put it into your body. Your body doesn't have the digestive enzymes to break this down, so then you have gas, you have cramps, okay? Things like that. That's a simple way to look at it. Another one is, like I said, doing practice. Doing practice helps release things in your body, okay? If you do practice twice a day, every morning and every evening, every morning on an empty stomach, by the way, okay? Empty stomach, and every evening before you go to bed. This will help move and clear the body. You might be dealing with a lot of emotional stuff. This will help you clear that. You might be dealing with a lot of mental stuff. This will help you clear that. Remember, your body and your mind are just a reflection of each other. And there's a lot of different outlets to help change all of that. Clean up your diet. Make sure you get sleep, 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Okay? And if you do the practice twice a day, you're going to see some changes. I tell this to many people, and I'll be really honest with you, brother. Most people I tell this to don't do it. They don't do it. Okay? There's a handful that do, and those handful will experience the results. So I hope you are that handful, man. Okay? Try it out. Try it out and you'll see. And watch how that pain starts to go away. Okay? Baron said, I don't know how to start meditation. Could you share some advice? So Baron, my advice to you on meditation is do the Flow 60 practice, because at the end of it, you're meditating, okay? But the way you meditate this way is different than regular meditation, because throughout the practice, throughout doing tap massage, strength, stretching, and breathing, you're preparing your body and mind for meditation. So by the time you actually get into meditation, your body's already relaxed, your mind's already clear. So it's so easy now to sit there and close your eyes and actually just connect to yourself and just feel into your body and be present. It's so much easier. If you just sit right now and try that, your body will feel all off and your mind will just be racing. But when you do the practice, when you get to the end, your body and mind's already prepared. That's the easiest way and the most effective way to meditate. Because why waste time trying to get into a meditative state? It's much more efficient to use that time to actually create other results for the body and then go right into meditation and get into a meditative state right away. Okay. So guys, by the way, you can find this practice. It's free on YouTube. You can just type in Mike Chain on YouTube. The channel is called Mike Chain. Okay. And the most popular one is my morning routine. It's called my morning routine. It's got like 1 point something million views on it. People use it as a follow along. That's version 1, by the way. Since then, I've created that video 3-4 years ago. Since then, I've created a version 2, which is very similar, but there's a little bit of difference. Version 2 is a little more effective. It's faster on moving the energy. It took me about 4 years of doing version 1 to then evolve it a little bit, but it's still effective. Version 1 is still effective. Just version 2 is kind of like that next, the next level. That's the one that I teach in the 60-day programs and all that. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. And by the way, awesome. I love how you guys are engaging. This really tells me that you guys are serious about the subject. It's a lot of really great questions. I'm just kind of looking through it right now. All right, Eric, straight up is what we do before we meditate. That makes a difference. Yes. Absolutely. All right, let me see. All right, guys, last one. This question is coming from Yami. Oh, Kelly B said, Mike Chain? No, Mike Chain. my name, Mikechang. Yeah, Mike Chain. She wrote my chain like a necklace. All right, so Yami asked, how many hours do I recommend sleeping? On average, about 7 hours, 7 to 8 hours. Here's a general rule. If you break down your body a lot, that means you exercise, you're very physical, you need more rest because your body needs to recover more. Vice versa. If you're not very active and you go to sleep, you need a little less. A little less is something around like 7 hours, okay? A more could be 9 to 10 hours, 11 hours. Now, you're probably not going to be breaking down your body like crazy every single day. If you did, your body would recover to become stronger, and therefore you still won't need tremendous amount of rest like that. Still, something like 9 hours is more than enough. Average is somewhere around 8 is the magic number. Find it for yourself and listen to your body. Listen to your body. When you're sleeping, you want to be able to relax before you go to bed. Don't go to bed, with your mind racing and feeling all this stuff, because you're just going to imprint all of that into your sleep. When you're sleeping, you guys ever listen to like subconscious programming? You listen to it and you sleep and it's programmed into your mind, right? Well, if you don't listen to something and you're thinking of things and you're feeling things in your body and you go to sleep, you're still imprinting whatever's in your mind and whatever's in your body. And you're imprinting that into yourself when you sleep because it's still running. It didn't stop. This is why you need to do practice before you go to bed so you can clear from your mind and you can release any type of emotions in your body. So then when you go to sleep, you imprint peace, you imprint ease. And in your mind, you imprint nothing, okay? Stillness, presence. So that's why it's important to do it in the evening time. And then in the morning time, you go ahead and clear it again. Okay, so now when you clear it again, you're not clearing the stuff from before because you cleared it last night. When you clear it again, you're going deeper, okay? Deeper into your body, okay? All right, Stefan asks, how can you escape someone from alcoholism? How can you escape someone? So I don't understand if you're saying how can you escape as in how can you get away from somebody who's drinking, or are you saying how do you stop drinking? If you can rephrase that so I know which one you're talking about here. No sugar, no lactose, without getting sick. Okay, let me see here. Is there a science to the order of tapping, stretching, meditation, etc.? Bob Malika asked that. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's a science. It took me many years to figure it out. Okay, there's absolutely a science. Just like how there's a science to exercising. You know, if I'm going to work on my chest and then work on my shoulders and triceps, which one do I do first? Right? It's the same idea. Well, we will do chest first because we need to use our shoulders and our triceps to help us push, right? So then when we're doing Flow 60 practice, it's the same idea. We always start off by vibrating the entire body. This is why we do tap massage versus first instead of doing stretching first, because tap massage is the fastest way to open up the energy, and it requires no warm-up. If you try to go and get right into a stretch, your muscles might be cold, so you may end up pulling something, all right? So that's not going to work. But when you do tap massage, you don't need to warm up because the practice itself in the moves in the beginning is the warm up. Okay? So yes, there's absolutely a science to it. Every single move out of the 60 moves is systematically, they all are influencing one another. That's why it took me so long to create it, because it's very complex. We're not talking about just the way we feel, we're talking about how it moves energy. Okay? Energy circulating in the body right now. And when you do if you do something, it influences the energy. Okay? So if I was to get onto a handstand, for example, now a lot of the energy goes to my head, right? Because of gravity. Now the blood rushes to my head and I feel a lot of the energy here. Right? So every move we do is moving energy. So you want to move it in the right way. If you move energy here and then afterwards you move it back this way, it's not helping. So with the practice, what we do is we move the energy from our whole body first, and then we move it from the toes, from the feet, all the way up to the head, and all the way back down again. And then after that, we do it again, but we do it with string training. And after that, we do it again, but we do it with stretching. And after that, we do the whole thing, moving energy throughout the whole body as a whole with breath work. And then we go into meditation and we connect to everything. Okay, so everything is done in that way. All right. We're close to... Hi from Philippines. Awesome, man. All right. We're close to running out of time. I'm going to do one more question here, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm going to do one more question here. Give me a chance here. Just kind of looking through your questions. Crystallize the world. You asked 1 hour of the whole practice 2 times a day, question mark. You could. Usually I recommend 1 hour in the morning time and about 25 minutes in the evening time, about half of it. Okay. Stretching, breathing, and meditation in the evening. Okay. And Stefan asked, how to make someone you care about. Okay. So how to make someone you care about to quit from drinking alcohol. That was the idea. Gotcha. Okay. Let's let that be the last question here. And well, here's the thing. If the person that you care about doesn't want to quit, and you try to force them to quit, then basically you're trying to get somebody to do something that they don't want to do, right? Now I want you to flip the tables for a sec. Now I want you to imagine that somebody is trying to make you do something that you don't want to do. Now, whether or not it's good or bad doesn't matter, because good or bad is personal preference. Good or bad is personal perspective, right? Okay? So now imagine if somebody did that to you. Would you like it? They go, this is good for you. Here's the reason why. You're like, yeah, but I don't want to do that. And then they try to force you. They try to persuade you, manipulate you, convince you, right? Sell you to do it. Won't you get upset, right? Won't you try to attack back? You're like, bro, go, stop. You know, I already said no for the nth time, right? Now, the same thing goes if you are trying to convince somebody or persuade somebody to stop drinking. Okay, trust me, this person knows what drinking is doing to their body and all of that. Okay, they know, right? But the reason why this is happening is because they are dealing with a lot of stuff. So much stuff that the drinking helps them drown out their sorrows, drown out the discomfort. It helps them avoid the pain. Okay, I know because I used to drink very, very heavily. Okay, so the best thing you can do for somebody that you really care about is give them love, give them support. Okay, give value to them. The most valuable thing that person who's doing a lot of substance abuse and things like that is they just want to have love. They want to have connection. But now the way that they act might be to push people away, right? Because they're dealing with a lot of stuff inside. They're a little fearful and all of that. But deep inside, they want the connection. They're just afraid, okay? They're just dealing with the stuff. So the best thing you can do for that person is not to ask them to quit, but is to go ahead and give them love, okay? Give them your friendship. Give them your support. Give them your time. Give them your attention. Accept them for who they are right now, okay? That's the big one, that big A word. Accept them for who they are, okay? Accept them for the drinking thing that they have. Accept them for all the other stuff, okay? Accept it and be okay with it, okay? You don't need to do that in your life, but you are fine with the fact that they're doing it in their life. Now, if they go, hey, Stefan, what do you think? Do you think I should continue to do this stuff? And they ask you in that way, you can go, honestly, no, I think you should stop. I think it's creating a lot of chaos in your life. I think it's the reason why your life is not going the way you want, right? And if they go, oh, okay, all right, okay, cool. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Okay, then you don't talk about it anymore. You see, but when they invite you in like that, then you share and you speak. But if they don't invite you in, don't try to get in. Because if you do, you're just forcing somebody. And they're just going to run away farther. They're just going to push back. And that's the last thing you want. Now, guys, this goes for any time that you're dealing with any type of family member, friend, anybody that you care about, anybody that you're really trying to help. Just remember, okay, that if somebody is wanting your help, then go and help them. If they don't want your help, and you know because you're suggesting it and they're saying no thank you, or they're just debating with you, fighting with you, being on the defense with you, it's an obvious no. Don't push it. Give them love. If you really want this person to still be in your life, you don't care the fact that, they are the way they are, you don't care, okay, then give them love, give them friendship, right? And by doing so, they may start to change when they're wanting to. Here's one last thing on that. Be the example for this person. You want them to not drink, you don't drink. You want them to respect other people, you respect other people. You want them to go ahead and be kind to themselves, you be kind to yourself. You want them to stop using those words, you stop using those words. Okay? We be the example for the change that we want to see in other people. Okay? We become the leader, that we lead the way, and they can follow if they want. We be the example for them. Okay, that's the best that we can do to help people change. And when they're ready, you will know because they'll ask you. They'll ask you, hey, tell me more about what you're doing. Hey, I got a question, And they'll open up to you and you'll know. And when that happens, help them. So, hey guys, thank you guys so much for joining on this live, for spending this time with me. We've been now live now for I don't know how long now. But I wanted to be able to connect with you guys. There's been a lot of new people jumping in on my page, and I wanted to share today for you guys that just jumped in recently. Go back into the beginning of this video and watch, because I dived in and explained everything from kind of a little bit about my journey, how I got into learning about this training practice, how I got into letting go of all this stuff. Right, you guys are hearing about it now. I used to drink like a fish and smoke like a chimney. It was nuts. Okay. How I went from all of that to letting go of all of it, and letting go of all of it, and then learning what I've learned and now sharing it all. And then diving into the whole training system, how it all works. I broke it all down. And last thing, again, for you guys that are in Austin, either you live in Austin, you're close by, or if you want to fly in, February 11th, Okay, February 11th is when I'm going to be doing a 5-hour in-person workshop. I would love to be able to go ahead and see you guys in person, train with you and teach and hang out and just say what's up. Okay, limited seatings on that. It's a small group. February 18th and 19th, just decided this morning. I don't have a lot of details. I'm very sorry, but I know it's going to be a 2-day event where I'm going to explain everything that I did today with practices going a lot more deeper. Okay, and that's going to be February 18th and 19th. It's virtual, so for you guys that can't make it to Austin, mark your calendars. It's probably going to be at least about 4 or 5 hours each of those days. It's going to be really good. We're going to be able to dive into a lot of stuff. Last thing is for anybody that is ready, you're past the gather information stage and you are ready to go ahead and learn this training system, ready to do the practices. And I emphasize ready because if you join the program, my accountability system, my trainers, we're going to be on you and making sure that you're getting it done. So that's why I say you got to be ready. Okay. But we have a 60-day program between myself and a handful of trainers, accountability system, daily accountability system, coaching, one-on-one, live trainings, the works. Okay, it's a program that is very immersive, very interactive, for people that are ready to make a change now. Okay, there's preparation period between now and March 11th when the program begins. Okay, flow60.com. Okay, flow60.com. So preparation, if you guys enroll right now, there's a preparation between now and March 11th. Really good, okay? Because you're going to be preparing all the things that we talked about today. You're going to be that practice. You're going to be doing that practice. You know, you're going to be working with the trainers already. And the program hasn't even started yet. March 11th is when the program starts, and that's when the 60-day goes. March 11th to May 11th, okay? So if that is something you want, go to flow60.com. Right now, the way that we're doing it is booking a call with one of our enrollment advisors. Sometimes we've been getting a lot of them, and sometimes I'll end up taking some calls too. Okay, but it's interview because I want to make sure that every single person that's joining in is ready. Okay, is ready to go. You know what to expect, and you're clear on why you're joining the program. All right, guys. So that is it. Hey, guys, thank you so much for joining in. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon and doing more of these lives and connecting with you all. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.